You're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas, obtain parole, and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. To the men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This thing's my love. It's Friday night. The inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio.
All right. Well, welcome to the Prison Show. Tonight is May the 8th. I think it's May the 8th. I believe so. And David's messing with the controls, trying to figure out what's going on. But we are here. It's been, wow, a week. 1 week. I will continue my meowing, I swear. But what we do have some good news. And I know David's heard about it. I know Linda's heard about it. And I know Gloria's heard about it. But we have received word from Adovo. I think that's how you pronounce it. You know me, I can't pronounce anything. And they have given us the green light. We have it in writing, and those of you able to pull it up on Facebook can definitely look at it. It's a letter from Adovo. They will not be charging any incarcerated person any amount of money to be able to view us. Yay! We will be handling any kind of cost on our end. But David has been working on this for 4 years. 4 years! And it is finally happening. And yes, I know we've mentioned it a few times, but this time it's finally happening. And, oh, Lord. All right. Yeah, we have sound, and you know what else? We are finished with the fund drive, and I'm pretty sure that we have a list of thank yous, but we're going to get to that a little later while we're organizing things. But right out the... Oh, what was that? Okay, so tonight David has lined up a fantastic show for everyone. Gloria Rubac is in the studio, in the house, with David, Linda, and I. And, of course, she is with the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement. Chivas Watson will be calling in. He is with In Mass Incarceration Houston and Working Group 512. Dani Sneed, I think, will be in the studio. He is the encourager. He always encourages us. He is the prison show veteran reporter. And Abe Bonowitz, the co-director founder at Death Penalty Action, will be calling in also. So we've got good news all the way around. We're getting on the tablets finally. And then maybe if y'all can go back and look at... I can't hear you, David.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Now I can.
Can you hear me now? I done blew Gloria away again. Now, I imagine, whenever I was doing time, everybody would tell me a set of lips say anything. And we keep saying this repeatedly, that we're going to do it. We got approved. We're going to do it. And we've been through so many loops and steps and people. Jason Clark gave us permission. Y'all know who Jason is. He's like a director now. He's not actually the spokesperson. So I talked to the spokesperson. I went with Amanda. And Amanda called me. We talked about it. She got with Jason. They got with Securus. And they got all their legality things straightened out with the Inmate Technology Division. And then we get the letter from Adovo. And in the meantime, what TDC didn't know is we were already talking to Adovo because Brian Hill, from the CEO of Adovo, had already contacted me and introduced me to his content team. So now all we have to do is negotiate which package we want, because it'll be free for all y'all, but it's going to cost us a little bit. So we hardly ever talk about money here, and I talked with a few people today about money, and it doesn't always go so well when you talk about money. So we're just going to let you know that it's going to cost us some money, and we're going to get the best package, and we're going to just name it and claim it. We're going to do it, and it's going to get done, and we're going to be there pretty soon because, every time we have Fun Drive, you guys show up and show out. So we thank you so much for that. Did I take up too much of your time?
You did.
Well, I reckon it's good news. So.
I reckon it's good news. And you know what? Gloria is here, and she's got some more good news. Don't you, Gloria?
I do. And, Wednesday I was depressed and, I can't even describe. But then I got the good news that Randy Halpern is going to get a new trial.
Woohoo!
Because his judge was anti-Semitic.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Judges, anti-Semitic, racist, anti-gay, heaven forbid.
I know. That never happens.
Not in 2024.
No. Not in 2025 either.
So, congratulations, Randy. I am so happy for you. I hope you can hear us. I know some parts of 12 building can't hear.
No, they can't.
KPFT.
But pretty soon they will.
Pretty soon they will.
850,000 in there.
Maybe they'll be able to go back an episode
Yeah,
and see us
nice.
with us running around.
See us running around.
Trying to do the sound.
Instead of just hearing us, they'll be able to see us.
So will there be like archives?
Well, I got to have the meeting. I got to figure it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think what it's going to be is, I think that every week we get to upload a new show, and I bet they get to go back and watch. I don't know how many of them, but it'd be nice if they go back at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, that would be,
Yeah.
well, maybe, depending on what I was doing.
Depending on what you were doing.
Depending on what I was wearing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. My vision was that it would be like the Pacifica Archives, where they load up 4, 5, 6 shows at a time. So every night, the new one would come on and the old one would drop off. So you'd still have a set amount. But
Well, y'all don't take all my time now.
Go ahead, Gloria.
So that was the good news about Randy Halpern. Randy was one of a group of 7 people that escaped and went on a trip all the way to Colorado, but made a stop in Dallas, and one of them killed a security guard at Oshman's, I think, or something. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the only 2 men left alive now are Randy and Patrick Murphy, yeah. So, anyway, that was just a breath of fresh air on Wednesday for sure. I want to just give some things that our group, the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement, has coming up. We don't meet per se in December, but on the first Tuesday of the month, instead of a meeting, we have a holiday potluck gathering and a holiday card signing for not only, I think we're 170-something people now on death row, but there's also 27 juveniles, and then a lot of different friends who have gotten off death row, Thomas Miller Hill, Kenneth Foster, and so on. Anyway, we send holiday cards to everybody and usually put a newsletter in. So that is the first Tuesday in December, which I believe is December 3rd. And then December 9th will be the 42nd anniversary of Mumia getting arrested and put in jail and charged with capital murder for a crime he didn't commit. December 9th falls on a Tuesday, so a lot of cities, including Philly and a bunch of places, are going to do the event on the Saturday before, on the 7th, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to be having a demonstration at the Fraternal Order of Police Union Hall, and let me pull up my emails.
Fraternal Order of Police?
Yeah, and it's the Metro cops in Houston that are in the Fraternal Order of Police, and it's the FOP in Philly that was really the one pushing for Mumia's execution and hoping to have him dead. Now that he's got life without parole, they're still going against him. So, and I can't find my...
So we're going to have that on December the 7th, the Fraternal Order of Police.
I think it's 3130 North Freeway. It's the Cavalcade exit. It's right on the feeder of the North Freeway.
What time?
At 12 noon on December 9th. So those are the 2 events we have coming up, our holiday get-together and card signing. And we have cards, so nobody needs to bring cards. And thanks to Lydia Garza, we have stamps. So bring some food and drink. And
that's December the 3rd.
I think. Is that let me see.
I think that, yes, I think I'll be able to go to that one.
Yeah, December 3rd is the first Tuesday. And then that following Saturday is when we'll have the protest for Mumia. And one of the first people to say, yes, let's do it, is Minister Abdul Halim Muhammad, formerly known as Robert Muhammad, and with the Nation of Islam. So we're going to have a lot of different people out there with us and show our solidarity with Mumia, along with people around the country, and I know in Germany and France, and I forget, different places. Mm-hmm. So there are 3 executions scheduled, and the first one is Stephen, what's his last name? Nelson. And if people would go to our Facebook page, the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement, there's a petition for Stephen, and also I don't know if it's his wife or one of his supporters is actually going to be at our January meeting. But I didn't realize that his case was another one of the damn law of parties.
Yes.
I am so over this. there is nothing, like so many people who are sent to death row under Texas law of parties, there's no evidence connecting him to killing anybody. So, anyway, and you can also go to Amazon and get Stephen's Book of Poetry, which is very nice. And then that's February 5th. January, we're free. November, December, January. No executions.
Well, as of right now.
Well, 90 days.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're free.
And then the next week, February 13th, is Richard Tabler. And then in March 13th is David Wood. So that's what we have scheduled so far. And, I'm not timing myself. I want to just do a special hello and happy birthday to Robert Robertson, whose birthday's coming up, I think, next week. But Robert's case has given us an opportunity, because it has gotten publicity from the New York Times to the Washington Post to the Wall Street Journal, from John Grisham to Dr. Phil. People are looking, and there wasn't even a crime committed. His poor little girl died, and she'd been very sick. But it has given so much publicity to the death penalty that I think it's going to help the whole movement. And right before his date that had been set for October 17th, Marcellus Williams was executed in Missouri, and there was so much publicity around his case. And I think that we need to use these examples of how the death penalty system is broken, it can't be fixed, and it needs to go, period. The other thing I want to say is with this orange man coming into office, the last 6 months of his first term, he executed 13 people, including just a couple of days before he went out of office. Lisa Montgomery, which was a Texas case, was executed. A horrific case of somebody that just had so much trauma in her life and should never have been on federal death row. But one of the things we'll have at our December get-together will be letters for people to sign telling Biden to do something besides genocide in Palestine, and let's commute all the federal death sentences before you leave office, President Biden.
Because if you don't,
they're going to be dead soon. So we'll have typed out letters that people can sign, and we'll mail them to the president. Okay. Let's see what else.
I know Gloria always has some good stuff.
Well, one of the best websites for information on the death penalty is deathpenaltyinfo.org. And they have something up now that is so important because it talks about the trauma that so many people on death row have endured. How many minutes do I have left?
Well, I'm letting you go over because neither of the other callers have called in. So,
okay.
Chivas and Dani both. If y'all can hear me, you need to call 713-526-5738, option number 2.
Otherwise, I'm going to take your time. Let's see.
And she is correct. DPIC is very informative. Their entire website is
it's
phenomenal.
Deathpenaltyinfo.org. They have an article about the trauma that people have experienced who wind up on death row. And the figures, I guess I didn't bring them. The figures of people, here it is. There's an article called The Role of Trauma and Mitigation in Capital Punishment, and how mitigation is so important. In fact, the American Bar Association tells any attorney working on a capital case, start working on mitigation before you even know that they're seeking the death penalty, because that is what can save somebody's life. And there's evolving science about the effects of trauma that is taking place, and numerous sociological and psychological studies have found a very powerful link between childhood abuse and later criminal behavior, particularly violent crime. So, and I know that any of us who know people on death row or who visit people know that some people have just gone through hell and back in the early years of their lives. And then, you know, we wonder why they go do some really crazy stuff. But the issue of trauma, the DPIC says that of the 90 people that have been executed since 2020, 76.7% of them had experienced significant trauma, 53.4% had severe mental illness, and 44.4% had low IQs and or brain damage. That is just a lot of people that should never have been put on death row, but really desperately needed some mental health care, and the system let them down, and look what happens, horrible crimes. But there was a Supreme Court decision way back, 1978, Lockett versus Ohio, where the Supreme Court required states to allow the capital sentencing phase, either if it's before a judge or a jury, to consider all relevant mitigating evidence. So this is something that I think is incredibly important. And the article is very good, actually.
It's always good to raise awareness about mental health regarding any, and you can look at the history of people on death row, family insecurities, everything from molestation, rape, you name it.
Right.
Hunger. Like you said, the people with capital don't get capital.
Those without capital get the punishment,
yes.
Period. And I just want to say that we had a really good annual event this year. And for the first time ever, all of the people who spoke were family members of people on death row, some still here, some who've been executed, like Billy, and
some who passed, like Big Lou.
And then some who survived, like Clarence Branley and Pam Perillo. So their families spoke, and it was really, I thought, a nice experience for all the families to get to talk to each other. Juan Balderas' mother and wife were there, and then his wife's mother made the best Salvadoran sandwiches. Oh, my God.
They were pretty tasty.
Oh, God. I was so tempted to get back in line for a second one. Beto Garza, your mom, spoke. Erica Shepard can't hear us yet. But her mother, Madeline, spoke. Pam Perillo, who is now free and did 20 years and faced 2 execution dates, her son wrote a statement that he was too shy to read, but he had somebody read it for him. And then Big White's mom spoke, and his 2 sisters and 1 brother-in-law were up there with her. And one of Big White's sisters read a message that we had gotten from Howard Guidry, that Howard wrote about Big White, that was quite touching. And then Terry Bean spoke about another Law Parties case, as is Beto Garza's. Delia spoke about Big Lou. Dani spoke about Billy Wardlow. And then We were supposed to have a Zoom thing, but we got bombed with pornography, so
that was very interesting. Someone hacked into the death penalty march.
Yeah,
with porn.
So Kenneth Foster's wife called in, and we held the phone up to the mic. Oh, and that's the other thing for those of you on the row who remember Kenneth, as well as activists. He had a pretrial hearing today. His wife said it went very well. She was actually impressed with the lawyer, which I found heartening. And the jury selections, Monday's a holiday, so jury selection starts Tuesday morning, and then the trial will begin Tuesday afternoon. It's going to go until Friday, and the only reason it's going to last that long is the medical examiner cannot be in court until Friday, so I don't know. So I know that Kenneth's wife, CJ, is already up in, what's the city? God. New Boston.
New Boston,
yeah,
yes.
At the Bowie County Courthouse. New Boston is like right across the border from Texarkana.
Do they still want people to
Yes.
go if they can?
If people can go, I'm hoping that Angie will drive up with me, and I'm trying to figure out, I guess if I take tuna sandwiches and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, I can afford to go for a couple of days. I really would like to hear what the medical examiner has to say, but...
Now, will you be able, and I know I'm changing the subject, but will you be able to go to the Sunset Commission hearing in Austin?
I don't know. Are you going to go?
Yeah, Joy and I are going.
What day are y'all going?
I took off both days, but okay. I think we have a call now. Chivas is on the phone.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, I just want to end by saying, please keep up with our Facebook page to keep up with important information and our events. And it's the Texas Death Penalty Abolition Movement.
She had a question.
Yeah.
She was questioning herself.
And thanks for letting me be on the prison show.
The prison show. And in case people didn't know, Clinton Young got moved to Cofield.
Oh,
now.
God.
Okay, let's get to Chivas. Hey, Chivas.
Hey, hey. Peace and power, peace and power. This is our hour. Again, forgive me for being late to the show. I was still in my training for our free insurance referral program. Greetings to all of you from around the world. I want to thank you for tuning in tonight from wherever you are. No matter if you're in SEG, no matter if you're listening from the tablet, waiting for us to show up on your tablet. As I know somebody shared the good news this evening already. Maybe you're in a transport van. Maybe you're hearing KPFT from the back seat this evening. We're happy to be in community with you. I am Chevis Watson, your in-mass incarceration Houston reporter, executive director of Austin-based service agency Working Group 512 as well. Live in Dallas, Fort Worth this evening, right around the corner from the Hutchings unit. I know those brothers can't hear me, but we keep them in prayer. We keep them in prayer. Ms. Dani, the weather is changing, and I'm still a little perturbed about the summer, but I'm cringing at how cold it can get in some of these units. And so this is a perfect opportunity to inform our listeners about the Sunset Commission and how important it is for us to gain your honest feedback. Again, the Sunset Commission hearing is on November the 13th, Ms. Dani, between 6...
I thought it was the 14th.
The 14th. You know what's happening on the 13th?
We are
With
having...
Sharon,
yeah.
and we're having the meet and greet. But we not only invite you to this meet and greet, in Austin, Texas, November 13th from 6:30 to 8. A collaboration between Texas Prisons Community Advocates, TPCA, Texas Inmates Family Association, TIFA, and Texas Cure. But we ask that you come out on the 14th and provide your honest feedback on how this department is doing. How this department is doing from all its inner workings. Perhaps you know what's going on in classification. Perhaps you've got a successful experience or a learning experience for us with the ombudsman or something like that. Please come and let us know how these conditions are impacting your family member. It is important. Your voice is important. Your voice is important. It's a very, very dark time in Houston. So much going on. I just got out of criminal court myself. So to our brothers and sisters who are listening, our folks that are inside of the walls, I am not your in-mass incarceration reporter because I've gotten too cool. I wear sunglasses at night. I'm your in-mass incarceration reporter because I know the experience. I know the impact. I know the impact. And something I'm learning. Some of y'all know I'm a legal professional, but something I'm really learning, and this is for all families listening, all guys that are listening, all gals that are listening, whether you are in the pretrial phase, whether you are in the post-conviction phase, I want you to learn what subject matter jurisdiction is all about. This could help save your case. This could help you reclaim the power in your case if you are up against a wrong, a lying report. You can challenge that lying report through subject matter jurisdiction. Moving on. Miss Dani, Miss Linda, you all may know a pal of ours, Stephen. Our pal Stephen is set for execution in February. And it's such a sad day when here in Texas we continue to see folks manipulated by the courts and sent to execution for something that sent to die for something that they didn't do. I am amplifying our brother Stephen LaWayne Nelson. I am amplifying Stephen, as we will be having a press conference next Friday to fight for a retrial, Ms. Dani, David, and Ms. Linda, in Tarrant County. And we invite the abolitionist family. But I heard Ms. Gloria on before me. We invite you all to come and join with us and be in unison as we amplify some of Stephen's insights while on death row. While we talk about the wonderful guy that he's continued to be on death row.
What time is that going to be?
On death row. Next Friday, we are gathering, let me get those details for you. We are gathering at 8 a.m. at the Tarrant County Court. And this will be a peaceful occupation. And then we will go to a church in Arlington where we will let folks know who are coming. We'll let them know that pertinent detail, but we will be going to a church in Arlington to have a hour-long press conference. Working in unison with Reverend Dr. Jeff Hood, who is Stephen's spiritual advisor, as well as Helene, Stephen's wife. I encourage anybody who's listening, anybody who's interested, anybody who remembers the piece that it was on the evening that Ruben Gutierrez got his stay. that was there with me, Miss Dani, Miss Linda, that night Will Spear got his stay. Was there with us all a couple of weeks ago when Robert Robertson got his stay. I want you to look up Stephen Nelson. I believe the website is justinforstephenlewaynnelson.com. And that's Stephen, S-T-E-V-E-N, Lewayne, L-A-W-A-Y-N-E, Nelson.com, so that you can get acquainted with the case and, again, who he is as a wonderful and strong individual. And we want to lift up the rest of the brothers and sisters that are on death row. We pray for you. We ask you to hold on. I am still a bit shell-shocked by the aftermath of Robert Robertson's attempted execution. Still quite shell-shocked at how Ken Paxton could be 8, 9 p.m. still trying to kill somebody. And keeping it local, before my time is done, we want to lift up Sister Jocelyn Griffin as she continues to pursue justice for her son, her late son, Evan Griffin Lee, murdered in the Harris County Jail. She is having a birthday vigil for him tomorrow morning, or tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. at 701 North San Jacinto in Houston, Texas. As Sister Griffin remembers her son through a prayer vigil, but she also wants to remember your son or your daughter or your mother or your father, your auntie, your uncle that you've lost in custody. So please join them at the Harris County Jail at 701 North San Jacinto. They will be holding a press conference during this event. Please come and not only support, but make your voice count. We know so many folks don't have a voice in the Houston area. Again, there's so much going on, and as we race towards this year, and this will perhaps be my last time on the air with this spot, I want to remind you all that are inside that there is hope. Last week, a brother returned back to Austin to our arms after 36 years. Some of you may find it hard to believe that if you turn your behavior around, or if you spend more time doing constructive things in there, that it could benefit you. But I'm here to tell you that it does. It can. It can. You've got to keep hope. I want to shout out Darius Elam in the Darrington unit. I want to shout out our buddy Clinton, hoping that he's keeping his head up. I want to shout out Rodney Reed, Melissa Lucio. I want to shout out all the families around the state who have connected with us, whether in McAllen or in Edinburgh or in San Antonio or in Houston or in Beaumont, in Dallas, Abilene, that tell us they are tired of what's going on in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and the local county jails. Again, you have a safe space with me, an open space with my organization, Working Group 512. We invite you to email us at workinggroup512@gmail.com, to give us a call at 512-953-3980. To any mothers or fathers or family members that are listening, you may have a recently released individual that has come home and is looking for work. We are actively hiring individuals in our free insurance referral program and our Medicare Flex program. And we would love to help someone gain a job with us where they don't have to go through no background check, since Trump can get president with 34 felonies and so many of us can't get jobs. Again, the number is 512-953-3980, workinggroup512@gmail.com. You can also link tree it with us, linktr.ee/WG512. You can hashtag workinggroup512 across all social media platforms. And I want to remind you all to travel safely in these seasons. Remember that there are better days ahead. As long as we continue focusing on better days ahead, if we lie in these problems, then the problems will remain. I'm talking to you brothers that are on the inside. I have heard that violence has decreased, but guess what hasn't increased, and that's the happiness. That's the pursuit of happiness. Brothers, I want you to hold on to hope. Sisters, I want you to hold on to hope. Mercy comes in the morning. That's coming from your in-mass incarceration reporter that could spend a lot of time talking about the Houston Police Department, the Harris County Sheriff's Office, and all the corruption there. How did Ed Gonzalez get voted in again? How did Rick Scott win in Florida? Instead, I'd rather just talk to you as a brother that's been down myself. Please keep hope alive. Reach out to us if we can be of any service. Family members, feel free to reach out to us and see how we can better refer you or give you a listening ear.
I'm sorry, Chivas, but we have...
And we thank you again for the time. Thank you, Miss Dani. I was certainly recording it on this end. Y'all have a great night. Drive safely. Guys, everybody, please donate. Pitch $5 into the prison show. $5, $10 to help us keep doing this thing. Y'all get home safely. Thank y'all again for the time.
Thank you. All right. Now we have Mr. Abe. He is with Death Penalty Action. Hey, Abe.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
And we sure can.
All right. Well, I'm glad to be with you, and thank you again for making the time and for what a great show, and always good to follow Chivas also. You know, I'm excited to share some good news tonight. There's a couple of bits of good news among the awful news. So, you know, let me give it to you straight up. The execution that was supposed to happen in Idaho next week is off. And that guy is going to get, that is Thomas Creech. And he was on the gurney being poked for almost an hour back in February when they couldn't get an ID going, and they sent him back to his cell, and they're going to try to kill him again. And his challenge has been about, you know, they shouldn't get to try to kill him again. And the courts have been dismissing it. But a federal district court has taken the case and has ordered briefings, and the state is not challenging that. And that means that he is not going to, the briefing schedule goes past his execution date next week. And therefore, I'm not out in Idaho, and he is not going to be killed. And that's really, really good news. And I imagine somebody has already mentioned Randy Halpern. Have you talked about that at all tonight?
Yeah, Gloria mentioned that earlier. It's fantastic news.
It is fantastic news, and hats off to T-Bone Chartle and all the attorneys around that case, because it's just, I mean, what's incredible is that he gets a whole new trial.
Yes.
And maybe he will have a jury that does not sentence him to death. And wouldn't that be amazing?
It would.
You know, if I understand correctly, 5 out of those 7 people have been executed. So there's 2 left, and Randy's one of them, and just amazing that has happened. And you know, it's the judge's fault. You know, he could, you know, start using racial slurs against somebody in the back of the courtroom, and sooner or later it's going to come back and haunt you, maybe, right? Because we all know that it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes everybody's in on it. But we saw that last year with an execution of a man who turned up the jury foreperson was a racist and used racist language in the jury room about this guy. And, you know, they tried to execute him, and they tried to challenge it. and say that he should have a hearing about that, and he was procedurally barred. And that's actually what I wanted to share a bit about tonight also, was the procedural bar thing, and just how amazing it was. I don't think I've been able to, well, let's see, the last time was 2 weeks ago, and that was right after we had the Robbie Robertson hearing and all of that. And, you know, and the example that we get out of that, of course, is the travesty of justice around procedural bars, and that you can't have your evidence heard because it's appeals really are only about did we cross all the T's and dot all the I's and meet all the deadlines, and most of the time you don't get anything in the way of justice or even having them take up your case on its merits. So, you know, I think hopefully that was exposed by what happened with Robert Robertson. Hopefully there'll be another look at that case. I'm very afraid that he might get another date, but you know, hopefully that doesn't happen. But we have that, you know. But the thing is, and what I wanted to say about this is that there are so many other cases, and somebody has to actually take a good evaluation of it and look how many people have been executed that tried to raise issues that were procedurally barred, where if they were not barred and they were allowed to look at the cases, that might have helped. I mean, Arthur Brown was one of those. He was also executed in 2023, and suddenly his attorneys had evidence that called him to question his guilt, and they could not get that evidence looked at. You know, so anyway, there's that. Now, the other big question of the week is what's going to happen with the people on federal death row, because we have 40 people on federal death row, and there's a handful, I'm not sure how many people are on the military death row. But what we have is a person who's been elected to the presidency who has run in part on his insistence and promise that he's going to execute all that he can. He's going to make sure, you know, the Project 2025 agenda, page 554, you can see for yourself what their plan is, which was finish executing everybody on federal death row and help elevate the number of executions going on in the states. And we're talking about judicial executions. Who knows what's going to happen with extrajudicial executions, but for judicial ones, you know, so right now we're running a big campaign and others are starting to get on board with it, but at deathpenaltyaction.org, you can find an opportunity if you're part of an organization, if you're part of a church or a club or a business or any kind of organization. We're asking organizations, groups, the prison show could do this. Go and click on the link and fill out the form and join the letter, the open letter to the president for organizations. We'll be delivering that again probably in the next week or so. We just delivered one on the 6th, right after the election, basically asking the president to commute all the people on federal death row. And now I had to stay up all night election night because I had to retool it. We were all thinking it was going to be, I was thinking it was going to be President Harris, and unfortunately it's not. So we had to retool our campaign back to Joe Biden, which we've been working on for 4 years anyway. But at the end of the day, if President Biden doesn't commute all those death sentences, Donald Trump's going to kill those people. And that's the opportunity that Biden has, is to save those lives and do the best that he can to live up to his, he made a campaign promise that they were going to try to abolish the federal death penalty. And what the president he can't unilaterally do that. He needs legislation. He needs a bill to sign. And getting a bill through Congress, this Congress, is next to impossible, especially on something like this. So what Joe Biden did do is he assigned an attorney general. He appointed an attorney general who knew not to set execution dates. And for the federal death penalty, that's how you get an execution date, is the attorney general sets the date. So Merrick Garland didn't set any dates. Merrick Garland actually rescinded a number of death notices in a number of cases, at least 7 or 8. And they're only pursuing the death penalty in the cases of terrorism and mass shootings and, following the law. But in any case, Joe Biden stopped the execution spree that Donald Trump was doing. He had 13 executions in 6 months, the last 6 months of his term, becoming the most executing president since President Roosevelt. And I believe that he actually enjoys having that power. He said that himself. He wants to have dictatorial power. And in any case, what we know is that that's high on their agenda, is resume of federal executions. And the way that that stops is if President Biden, before he leaves office, commutes all those death sentences. And that's the campaign. So if you're part of an organization, we've got the organizational sign-on letter. And if you're just a regular person like you or me, you can go and sign a petition. And then there's also a whole toolkit that we're sending people that you can, you don't even need the toolkit. We were asking people get out a piece of paper and an envelope and a stamp and write a letter to the president. Just, short, one sentence. Please commute all the federal death penalty cases. And don't allow Donald Trump to execute them. And that could be the little bit of a stinging parting gift that the president can give to Donald Trump on his way out of office, is take away that opportunity to execute, because we know that Donald Trump loves that. So that's a part of that's a campaign that we're working on. And then, of course, we are looking at the next executions. And next up is Kerry Grayson in Alabama, the next gas chamber execution. He just lost in court. They were challenging the question of, is the way they're doing gas suffocation executions cruel and unusual, which it is if you pay attention to what's actually happening with these executions, that people are conscious and having the oxygen deprived from them. And so that's a week from Thursday, the 21st. And then we've got another execution in Missouri and another execution in South Carolina. I don't know if that date was confirmed today, but it was expected to be. And then a first execution in Indiana in over a decade, and also finally an execution in the last execution currently scheduled this year is in Oklahoma. So we're working on all of these, and right at deathpenaltyaction.org is where you can find the petitions for each of those cases. So please come and sign those petitions. And meanwhile, we just have to take a breath and see what's going to happen in Texas in the wake of Robert Robertson and this whole fight that's going on between the governor and the attorney general and the legislature. Well, some people in the legislature. Hats off to Jeff Leach, Joe Moody, and everybody on that committee and all those legislators that sued to stop that execution. I was shocked that it worked, but it worked. And they're not going to be able to do that again. And hopefully, in between, they'll realize that there's some fixes that still need to be made. If they're not going to abolish the death penalty, they definitely have to make it so not just new science gets you a new hearing, but anything that's a credible or reasonably credible claim of that should be looked at, whether it's about guilt or innocence or due process. Because it's not always that everybody's innocent, but what if you have a low IQ? What if you're mentally ill? What if racism was part of your conviction?
And I'm sorry, Abe, we have to close up, but what's your address where they can get a hold of you?
Well, everybody can get a hold of us at P.O. Box 89 in Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, Ghent, New York, 12075. That's Death Penalty Action, P.O. Box 89 in Ghent, G-H-E-N-T, New York, 12075. And can't wait to see when those tablets are going to be online. And anyway, everybody, make it a great evening and keep your heads up. We got to keep fighting. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Abe.
Danny just said that his wife had some kind of situation with his niece.
Oh, okay.
So family emergency.
All right, Danny Sneed, we miss you.
Yep.
He's a regular part of the prison show.
Prayers and thoughts and well wishes go out to you, brother. I don't know. I wanted to celebrate our little old win again. I wanted to enjoy the congratulations. I don't know. So you guys already have Adovo, and I hear so many good things about Adovo. There's all kinds. It's an educational app, and we're educational. We give you all kinds of information that you're not going to get anywhere else. So I guess the next phase is I've got an appointment set up next week sometime. So I just need to get it cleared, who, what, when, where, and how. and when we're going to get started. And if you ask me, it's going to be ASAP. I'd have done it tonight if I'd have had the chance. I mean, I was ready.
Yeah, he was. He called me today. Yeah, it was awesome.
So, a lot of other people telling me I got to chill, got to take a deep breath. I mean, man, I've been working on this thing for 4 years. What do you mean I got to chill? It's time. Let's go.
Yeah.
Adobo asked me when I wanted to have an appointment. I said, I'm free within the next hour. Elsewise, I'll be off after 3. I mean, I was ready. So, I mean, because everybody keeps hearing us talk about it, but I mean, when's it going to happen? But
it's important because we get the messages out to, how many did you say?
850,000 people will be able to listen to us.
And those are incarcerated people.
Yeah.
So that's not even counting their families who get information that we're giving. Maybe you need information about your case put out there.
So, I mean, just hang in there with us. We're doing the best we can.
Yes.
But what the neat thing is now is how many different platforms are we going to be on? So, I mean, it don't matter how you want to listen to us. You can tune in. And if for some reason you miss us live on any of the live platforms that we'll be on, you can catch us either if you're incarcerated, you catch us on the app. And we're really thinking and hoping, and from what I read on Adovo, we'll have multiple episodes already loaded. And then every week, the new ones will get put up on there.
And then we're working on, when we're out protesting the executions, David's going to be working on that too.
So I used to be able to download them and put them on YouTube, but for some reason the last few I haven't been able to do it. It's like they start to download, but then they won't finish. And so...
Yeah, are they too big? Because I know Robert's execution would, that was...
Well, I used to be able to just hit resume. It would start downloading, and then it would like brain freeze or whatever, and I'd hit resume, and but it's not doing that. So I was Googling things earlier, and I don't know, maybe some IT guy that's listening knows more than I do, but they said where the www dot is that I could put in mbasic dot, and then the rest of the URL. Or URL. I'm a redneck. I call it a URL.
Yes, you do.
And,
and yes, you are.
and it would actually give me a chance to download it. What MBasic means is it's just the basic. It's not computer language. It's not that I'm going to be seeing all the computer language or the DOS or anything like that, but it's just going to be the basic computer. I'll see the picture and I'll see the video, and I'll just have to push save as.
And what the prison shows out at a few events. I mean, we go live at a few things.
Yeah.
So it's not just execution protests, and it's not just here in the studio. I know we can only do a few things per
week, but we'll have the chance to do 4 things per week. So I was even thinking, because I think a lot of times the guys miss execution watch, and it's not always popular. But we've talked about maybe having different attorneys come in and do different things with execution watch to where it is more appealing to listen to instead of being boring. No offense against execution watch, but whenever you talk about legal stuff, it's real boring unless it was with Jim Skelton. Jim Skelton made things funny because of the way he said things. He really ticked off some people because of the things he said.
Yeah, he did.
But at the same time, I mean, at least he cut to the chase,
Yeah.
So he told it like it was, but he's no longer with us. So they're talking about getting some different attorneys in there and doing some things different. And if we can upload 4 things a week, then there's nothing wrong with having the protest on there and then doing an execution watch also. I don't know. Dean Becker has the moral high ground. Maybe we'll throw one of them in there every now and then, trying to help out KPFT get on the tablets. At least they'll have some stuff on the tablets and we'll be able to share.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we've got the platform, we'll have 4 things we can upload every week if we get the big package, which is what I'm shooting for. So I don't want to pitch too much, but I'm going to go ahead and put my preacher hat on. And if you're listening to us and you want to help us get on the tablets, then reach out to us. You can catch us here at KPFT. You can catch us on Facebook. You can catch us on YouTube. Just let us know. Well, I'm going to say just like everybody else does. I don't care if you got $5, $10, $100, $1,000. I mean, come on. I mean, well, there's different packages, and I'm going for the big package, which is like has 10 of them.
Do we have to do the radio ID?
Is it 10 o'clock already?
Yes.
Man, I want to talk more about Adobo. So, yeah, if you talk to him give me about 15 seconds and let me pull up everything.
Okay.
And I just want to thank you for all your work, David.
Yeah, well, let me turn your mic on so you can do that. Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to thank you for all your hard work, David, for 4 years, because I know that the women are certainly looking forward. They're like, the prison show. We keep hearing about it, but what is it? So thank you very much for your tenacity. That's my big word for tonight.
That's a big old word, too.
That is a big old word, Gloria.
Well,
and we appreciate David because he has stuck with it, and hopefully he'll get the station ID up. Maybe we've had technical difficulties, and soon you will be able to see us have these technical difficulties. It can get real humorous back here.
Especially when the mics come on at 100,000 miles an hour.
I know. Or when I'm...
Well, at least we don't have Hank to flip off anymore.
No, I flip off you.
We kind of miss flipping off Hank. Danny always wants to smack him upside his head.
I do.
I'm on the other side of the glass, so she can't reach me.
I would love to throw a brick at him.
Okay, we're about ready for this ID, but I did want to point out, once we get on there, if we're doing video all the time, we need to get more camera people, and we need to make more things right so that we don't have so many gremlins in the show.
Yes.
So many what?
Gremlins.
Gremlins. You don't remember the gremlins?
Like little...
Oh, okay.
Little people causing trouble in the background.
You're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the prison show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
Night at the Harris County Jail.
Hello. Hello.
Gloria's going to the Harris County Jail. I was at Santa Claus there, 2 years ago?
Yeah, you were. 2 years ago. Yeah. Well, I know there's a vigil for her son was killed in Harris County Jail. It's for Lee. His last name is Lee. I cannot remember his first name.
I can't either. And so many people have died in that jail.
But she's doing a press conference tomorrow to draw attention. I thought it was next week. Oh, no, sorry. David's like...
tomorrow at 6 o'clock, 701 San Jacinto.
Okay. All right. And now we're going to... Do you want me to get to the calls, David?
Well, I wanted you to say thank you to all them people that we said we was going to do later on, and we never did.
That's right. I want to say thank you to Miss... Well, you were just shoving your phone.
I was waving it. I sent you a text.
I know. That was
your phone don't yell. You got a text like mine does.
No, but that was 42 minutes ago, so... Other things have happened since then. Okay, stop it. Miss Diana, thank you. Miss Evelyn, Mr. Jason, Mr. Paul, Miss Gloria, Miss Jamonica, David, sometimes.
And Dee
Dee. Michael, Nicole, Marcy, and Verena. I think that's how you say her name, Verena.
She's from Germany, so I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we thank every single one of y'all. We appreciate you, too. Appreciate you very much. All right, now let's get to the calls. Rosa is on line 1. Hi, Rosa.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed. I just wanted to give a shout-out to my sweetheart, David Gaetan. He's with the Ramsey 1 unit, and I just wanted him to know that I love him. And I'm with him, and I'm going anywhere. And a shout out to all the inmates at TDC that I keep all in my prayers. And I just love what y'all are doing on the show. And just thank you for letting me do my shout out. And That's what I got.
All right.
Y'all have a good night.
Thank you, Miss Rosa. You have a great weekend.
You do the same. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye. All right, now we have Kiana. Kiana on mic. Hi, Kiana.
Hey, Dani.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We are doing good, and I'm going to tell Gloria. Gloria, this is Kiana. Kiana calls in for her husband who is on in the federal prison in Beaumont.
Oh, okay.
So,
I've visited there. There's 3 there. Which one is he in?
So he's in the medium?
Medium, okay. I've only visited the Supermax or the high one.
They're all different, especially like I was telling Dani about the visitation. Like, if you see how it is, you like usually see them from walls, like, you know, from like, I could put it like they always be behind like the glass. You know, some prisons do different things, but this one, like, you side by side, like you can hear the next person's conversation. Like, there's no type of privacy at all.
Yeah, that can get very unnerving, I'm sure, when you have no privacy. At least when we're visiting through glass, you may have someone next to you, but they're trying to hear their conversation too. So.
Yeah, but at the federal, you can sit there and hold hands and share food. And I was freaked out the first time I visited the federal one in Beaumont.
Yeah, you can, and you also could take pictures. Like, that's what we did on my very first visit with him. It was like fun, and like we took pictures. Like, we took like 5 or 6 pictures.
Wow.
But I'm gonna see him on the 21st.
The 21st of this month?
Yes.
Well, I know y'all will have a great visit. And shout out to your hubby, Jedediah, correct?
No, Jeremiah Rodriguez.
Jeremiah, I am so sorry. Yeah. I was thinking about Jedediah. We have a friend named Jedediah, and it's...
He must be laughing right now. I'm letting you know right now. He's going to tell me... He's going to tell me tomorrow, like... Yeah, she pronounced it, but she tried.
I know. I tried. I swear I tried. I swear.
But you tried. You did. So I love him. Shout out to him tonight. I hope he have a good night, and I love him so much.
He's a lucky, lucky man.
And I hope he knows it.
I'm sure he does. Well, thank you for calling, Kiana, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Have a good night, Gloria and Dani and Mr. Davey. Have a good night.
You too, Kiana.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Now we have Leslie. Sugar Pom Pom Leslie.
Sugar Pom Pom Leslie in the house.
How you doing, girl?
I'm okay. I'm just laying in bed and getting ready for my little visit tomorrow for my little Sugar Pom Pom. Anyways, he said he tried to get on he can't get good reception. He has ESPN.
But we fixing to fix that.
Yeah, we're going to be on the tablets.
Yeah, we're going to be on the tablets.
And then he's without excuse, Sugar Pom Pom.
No excuse.
I know, that's right. Anyways, shout out to KFC fried chicken. And then, that was to Curtis. And then my Sugar Pom Pom, my little sweet Sugar Pom Pom, even though he makes me so mad. He's at the Styles Unit, STILES, Building 4, F-Pod, 9 Bottom, baby. Yeah.
Boy,
anyway.
Getting specific there, man.
I know. Anyways, that's my Sugar Pom Pom, and I will see him tomorrow. And I love you so much. And let me see what else. Oh, I can't wait until I eat a Snickers bar. And some chips.
And some chips. Put it all, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're awesome.
And my sugar pom-pom, I just want you to know that I love you, and I'm so proud of you. He's done like 2 classes today on that Adivo, or what is it called? Adivo?
I would think it's Adovo, like
Adovo.
Yeah.
Adovo. Yes. So he got his 2 certificates that I could print out. It was really cool. Anyways, I love you, my sugar pom-pom.
Oh, my God. I will see you tomorrow, girl.
Congratulations, Prison Show, David. That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Party on. All right. Bye, you guys. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, TVCJ.
Right, good night. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now, just a heads up, y'all. Oh, I think they're playing it. Never mind.
What are we playing?
Oh, I thought you were playing.
No, you didn't introduce it.
Oh, just a heads up. Some units, if you get in an argument with your loved one, spouse, whatever, and you're in visitation, they are banning some people. I guess it depends on how bad the argument was, but yeah, we were.
Whoa.
I know. I felt kind of bad for the wife, because you just gotta. I know sometimes you can. I was married for 23 years. I know those fights. I know those fights. But all right. Let's get to Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Beth Garza in Plunski. Hey Boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health, spirits, staying safe, and that there's a smile on your handsome face. As for me, all is going good. I'm just in work at the moment, and yeah, as you can hear, everything is pretty quiet. Yeah, everybody's just chilling out in their rooms, relaxing. Yeah, and so far so good. The shift is going well. Other than that, yeah, everything is good. Daytona is good, and she says woof, and I'll give her some belly rubs when I get home for you. And Buddy is doing great, yeah, and he says howdy. Yeah, just know, yeah, everything else is good, and yeah, the weather here is beginning to get cold. Please know that you mean the world to me, and that I'm sending you big hugs and kisses. So good night, sweet dreams, and stay safe. And to everybody in the Prison Show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
She always makes me smile. Always. All right, let's get to Lydia on line 2. Hey, Lydia.
Hi, Dani. Can you hear me, Dani?
Sure can.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're good here in the valley. We got some cool temperature. I mean, we're talking 60 degrees.
Wow.
Nothing.
That's cool.
Cooled us down at night. Yeah, cooled us down at night. Yeah. But we're good, mijo. It's not much going on. I took Anthony some of that fish and shrimp that I cooked. I took some over to him with some salad, and he said it was good. He ate it, and I'm trying to convince him to go with me Monday to that place in Harlingen. But lift him up in prayer, mijo. Hopefully he'll go, at least just to meet the people there. Okay? I love you and I miss you. My saludos to all the guys. You know who you are. And keep your head up. And know that you are in our thoughts and in our prayers. Okay? Love you, Poppy. Good night. Good night, Linda, Dani, David.
And Gloria.
That was long.
Hi, Lydia.
Hi, Gloria.
Hey.
Hey,
Snuck that one in on you.
Yeah, you did. You driving at night, Gloria? You can see real good now, Gloria, right?
I can. I don't even have glasses. One less thing to forget or lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I told Beto. I said, you look so good. You look so good, and your beautiful blue eyes look nice.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, Gloria.
That storm isn't headed for y'all, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, it's farther south.
If anything, the coast will get a little bit of rain, but no, it's not headed this way.
Okay, good.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, nice talking to you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night,
bye.
Lydia. Okay, and now we have Mike.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing his shout-outs for the prison show. Here's my shout-outs. The guys of Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cuppett, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out for Philip Perez. Shout-out for Jovan, Matt, Thomas, Edward Ruiz, Adam Wilkerson. Shout-out for Aaron Vasquez. Shout-out for Haas, Keith Money. Tasha wants me to do a shout-out for Payday. Shout-out for Curtis Robertson. Shout-out for Blaine Milam. Shout-out for Bill R. Sims. Shout-out for William Cart. And special shout-out to Clarence Lee Bowman. Hopefully you're doing much better. And hope all the incarcerated veterans and veterans on the outside have a wonderful Veterans Day on Monday. And go the University of Houston Cougars versus the Arizona Wildcats tonight on Fox Sports 1. Go Cougs. It's going to be a cat fight tonight. And now back to the prison show. Adios.
You know what? It never ceases to amaze me how...
Don't you just love him?
But I will say, he did mention Veterans Day, and we do have to give a big shout out to all the veterans out there.
Is that Monday?
That is Monday. Yeah. That is Monday. So all you veterans out there that served our country, we appreciate you.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you for your service. And next, we have Stacy. However, before we get to her, the second Sundays in November are established as Virginia Day on Solitary Confinement Awareness Day. So we wanted to give that information out because Stacy always has good information regarding what's going on in Virginia. I think her husband is located in...
She sends me letters from Virginia all the time, so I'm wondering if... And I think she even invited me on a prison group from Virginia. So maybe after we're nationwide, maybe...
Yeah.
Hey, Stacy. Woohoo.
Her husband is located at the Wainwright unit, if I remember correctly.
But she's advocating in Virginia.
Right. I think, she advocates both, but she's, I'm not sure the dynamics, but hi, Stacy, and hi, Sporty Blackman, I think. Is it Sporty?
Let's let her tell us.
Yeah, let's let her tell us.
This is to my husband, Sporty Black at Wainwright Unit. Hey, baby love. This is our Friday night tuck you in. I trust we got our whispers earlier this evening, 'cause last night I didn't get our tuck in. All is well. The girls are behaving, both hanging inside with moms today, even though it's a nice day out there today with me. I've been on the machine and shared Kimberly Z's post on 20 plus sites. Others have shared it, and we got a few comments I'll share with you tonight when you call me. Then I shared the second Sundays in November Solitary Confinement Awareness Day in Virginia with 40 people and groups along with the Coalition on Solitary Confinement. They got over like 100 plus members, so we got it out there. Yeah, baby. It's been a pace day. I'm just getting ready to work on the Think podcast. Yeah, the audio for the YouTube. Yeah. Boo, it's a pace kind of day, babe. It's that time. Be tough, stay focused, and know we are strong. Mwah. I love you, baby. Mwah. Take care. Mwah. One more kiss.
That's a lot of kisses.
That's a whole lot of kisses. Whole lot of kissing going on. You know, Gloria and I were talking before we came on air, before our ears got shot by that we did not know that TDCJ has a Braille facility.
Where is it? Do you know?
Well...
No, okay.
No, but you know how I found out? I found out because I downloaded the Echo from October. And
you have a nice printer.
I do, don't I?
Yes.
It's fantastic. And don't forget that you too can enter the Echo's 2024 writing contest. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that there was a writing contest. I didn't know all these, the campuses, the units, what they offered. I found out today that the Estelle unit offers construction technology. Now, what that entails, I'm not sure.
Did you know that you knew a Dear Darby?
Yeah, there is Dear Darby.
But you know someone who used to be Dear Darby whenever she was incarcerated.
Who?
Jennifer Charlene Toon.
Oh, she was Darby?
Yep. And you know who else used to work for the Echo, who got in a lot of trouble working for the Echo?
Who?
Jorge Renaud.
Oh, he got into a lot of trouble?
He wrote an article about TDCJ exposing some trash that was going on, and it got printed in the Echo, and they passed out all the Echo to everybody, and then they locked down the unit, and they searched everybody down and took away all the Echoes.
Oh, my God.
That sounds like TDC.
But we got to read it anyway.
But Jorge gets in good trouble.
Yeah, we love Jorge.
That's good trouble. And the Braille facility, has been renamed the Billman Braille Center at the Patrick O'Daniel unit.
Oh.
So it's inside.
That's the women's unit.
Yeah, that's the women's unit. Yeah, they're the ones doing the Braille work, which I think is fantastic. I had no idea that. Anyway, so the October Echo, if you can get your hands on it, has all the different units with what they offer. So if you mayhaps wanted some information about who does Introduction to Culinary Arts, well, there's a whole lot of units that do that. There's several units. And when I brought that up to KFC earlier today, he's like, man, I don't cook, I eat.
Okay.
That's what he said. I don't cook, I eat. So we have Jason, and I'm on line 1, and I'm assuming that's Mr. Jason Wysong, correct?
That's right, Dani. Your favorite Jason.
My favorite Jason, yes.
Of course, yes.
Of course.
Yes. Well, hello, everyone, and first and foremost, a big congratulations, Cowboy Dave and everyone, on your progress, on getting on the tablets. I know all about waiting for something and just how good it feels to make progress finally, right? So again, congratulations, and I'm excited for all the new listeners that you will get and all the new family members that will be calling in. And in fact, you probably won't even have time to take my call because you'll have...
We're going to make time for your call.
That's right.
Thank you. And as has already been mentioned, a big happy Veterans Day to all of my fellow veterans. Myself, I'm a Air Force vet, and I thank you as well, all of you, for your service who have served. Especially a shout out to my brother who couldn't make it on the show tonight, Dani Sneed. Happy Veterans Day to you guys. You know, some of you may remember a woman named Melanie Hanson Davis who ran a program, a governor's award-winning program called the Honor Mentor Program that was focused specifically for incarcerated veterans. And she had a motto, sort of a credo to her program, and that credo said that many veterans who are incarcerated have lost their freedom in the midst of defending ours. So again, we appreciate you for your service as well. So my shout-outs. Shout-out first and foremost to my brothers and the mentoring program at the Walls Unit. Sorry that we had to cut our program. I had to cut mine a little bit short this last month. But we will be back again this coming month. Actually, we're back a week from Saturday. And shout out to, as well, and brothers at the Ferguson unit and to Wall Street and his team there. Shout out to, although I know a lot of you guys, a lot of them have trouble hearing, to the Ellis unit, Kairos team. Miss you guys and look forward to seeing you as well again. And shout out, last but not least, shout out to a brother that I mentor, I would like to think, virtually, who correspondence, Jeremy Rodriguez over at the Federal Unit. And as I've introduced myself before, I'm Jason. I am with the CRJMA, the Mentors Association, and we serve with mentoring mostly individuals who are preparing for reentry. And so I like to deliver a little what I call a mentor moment. I know it's been a little while. So my mentor moment for this week is, I know some of you are thinking about starting something new. You know you have something that you want to do, but you just don't know where to start. And so my little encouragement to you is to remember that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And that is a proverb that exemplifies just taking personal initiative. And I'll quote, this is a quote maybe you'll appreciate. Take the first step in faith. You don't know how to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. And that is a quote by the great philosopher LL Cool J. And the scripture that goes the scripture that goes along with that is Matthew 17:20. Truly I tell you, if you have the faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will. Nothing will be impossible for you. For those of you who want to reach me for any help with resources or is anything in terms of reentry information, you can write to me at Jason Wysong at P.O. Box 13142, The Woodlands, Texas 77393. And I will also throw in our email, because I was just informed we can share our company, our organization's email. You can share that with your loved one. They can reach out to me as well through that. That's info@crjma.net. All right. Enough information for tonight. Thanks again. Congratulations again, Prison Show, Cowboy Dave, and we will see you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jason.
Right. Bye.
So, amidst my poking around, I was, and of course I do that on my phone all the time, but I just saw where I'm sure many of you know that Bobby Lumpkin has been, since 2020, he was the director of the Correctional Institutions Division. So he was responsible for the operations on over 100 facilities. Well, he has been promoted to Chief Operating Officer. So he is no longer the director of CID. I haven't found who was promoted to take his place. Jason Clark has been promoted to Chief Programs Officer. So,
what is that?
I guess he's doing a lot of programming and being the officer of those programs.
Congratulations.
I know. In this role, he will focus on implementing groundbreaking initiatives to address the evolving needs of our population and the agency. He has strong leadership skills. So, congratulations to him. And, of course, Bobby Lumpkin will be responsible for optimizing resources and streamlining processes to enhance agency operations. So there you go. And Ron Steffa is still the Chief Financial Officer, so he's just continuing in that role. But, yeah, they have a whole section chiefs announced. It was announced today. So I'm not sure who's taking Bobby Lumpkin's place, but I'm sure I'll find out. And why don't I go poke around a little bit more, Gloria, and why don't you do a shout-out?
Okay.
Not that I'm putting you on the spot or anything. I mean, you know.
Did you know that Jason Clark used to be a newscaster?
I do know that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to give a shout-out, and I learned his nickname, to Big Flo, Charles Flores, and I was so happy to bring your friend Stephanie to visit you. Was this week or last week? I can't remember. Anyway.
I think it was last week.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, Stephanie was an absolute delight, and I was glad to be able to take her to see you. I wanted to give a shout-out to Ram. I haven't seen you in a while, and every so often I'm wondering how you're doing. So, hey, Ram. Shout-out to Spider. Who knows if you can hear. Usually you can't hear the prison show, but maybe tonight something happened. Tony Ford, I got your e-message, and I'm going to answer you. I have some strong disagreements, but mostly I like to...
Not with Mr. Ford.
Well, on some political stuff. Anyway, shout out to T, Nanan, Jeff Wood, Eugene Broxton, Terry Washington. I hope you're doing okay. Anthony Pierce, Anthony Haynes, Robert Will, and I wanted to give, Clinton Young is at the Cofield unit, which I've heard is kind of like hell on earth. But I wanted to give his address or his prison number in case anybody wants to send him a note. It must be very, and he can't hear us yet, right?
Yet.
Okay. Clinton was on death row for, I don't know, a decade or two, and then got his
18 years.
18, God. Then got his sentence overturned and was out for about 3 years and having a job and living a regular life and doing all kinds of good things. And then they retried him and sentenced him to life in prison. So anyway, his new number is 025-22342. Let me take the 0 off. 2522342. And of course, to write anybody, it's that P.O. Box 660-400, Dallas, Texas 75266. So if anybody has the inclination, send Clinton a little hello and tell him.
Or you can add him on your Securus.
Yeah, put him on your Securus thing, and then you can send him an e-message. But that must be very depressing to be out for 3 years or so. And
you go from a cell phone to the tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what a bummer.
At least he's got that now.
Yeah,
For years, we didn't have that.
For years, he didn't, he was on death row for 18 years. He didn't have any, couldn't make a phone call every 90 days.
Think he's going to start writing again?
I know. I hope he does. And, well, honestly, I hope that his attorneys do something to overturn this one.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah.
But who represented him at his retrial? Do you know?
Dick DeGuerin.
Really?
That's what he said, right?
That's what he said. Meryl didn't do it.
Yeah, Meryl.
I knew she didn't do it, but
Yeah.
I think she should have done it, but that's my opinion.
Huh.
I think it could have been a conflict of interest.
Well, I don't know, but she's a good lawyer.
Oh, she's an excellent lawyer.
And
Yeah, but she's kind of close, wasn't she?
yeah,
yeah.
I think so.
Is that an understatement?
I think so. It just breaks my heart
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
that he's locked up. So anyway, those are my shout-outs for tonight. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but that's me.
Yeah, well, Linda and I forget them all the time. Linda, do you have any shout-outs that you want to give?
I do.
Go ahead.
Okay. Good night, guys. Or good evening, guys.
Already good night. See, she forgot her whole list.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, too tired today. Joel White, Michael Moyers, Thomas Miller L., Paul DeVoe, William Owen Sr., Jaime Cole, Franklin Davis, Will Spear, Cedric Marks, Robert Satterfield, Robert Solis, Lucky Ward, Ronald Haskell, William Hudson, Juan Balderas, Blaine Milam, Paul Story, Walter Sarto, Robert Roberson, Britt Ripkowski, Charles Hill, Dwayne Buck, Tyrone Williams, Charles Ray Thurman, Iron Thunderhorse, Curtis Robertson, Stephen Curry, Eugene Broxton, Marcus Drury, Troy Glover, Bill Sims, Paper Cup at Estelle, Midget Titan at Estelle, Ken Decker, Gregory Allen, Jedediah Reed, and Clinton Young, and Sugar Pom Pom. I will never forget you.
Sugar Pom Pom.
Yeah,
Yes.
Sugar Pom Pom.
Now, can Thomas Miller L. hear us?
Where's he at?
Yes, he can hear you.
Pack? Is that where?
Oh, Pack Unit can.
They can. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Hey,
Yeah.
Thomas.
All right, and I'm going to do mine, and of course, Farron. Hey, Farron, he's one of my best friends. Hey, Farron, Joel White. It was great talking to you tonight. Robert Solis, Brett T, Big Head, Blaine, Daniel Ramirez, Kenneth Decker, Michael Ferguson, Eugene Mayo, Rodrigo, Newt, Brian Bolt, Leroy, Jay at the Win Unit. Sorry about that. We got cut off earlier. Beto, Rexalicious. Hey, Rexalicious. Of course, CJ / KFC. Midget Titan, it will be my honor to visit you. Paper Cup at Estelle. So great big hellos to all of you. And hopefully we'll be having more soon with the tablets. Us getting on the tablets. Right, David?
What do you envision with that? What do you think it's all going to entail? Well, you've been Googling over there how many different prisons Securus is in.
No, I looked up to see if they were in Pennsylvania.
Are they in Pennsylvania?
No. Well, that Securus they use their phone system, just not their tablet.
Oh.
What about Virginia?
I have no idea.
I thought you looked it up.
No, I wasn't looking. I was looking up a specific.
Specific. So
States.
they updated it because on their advertisement, the one I put on the prison show, it says 750,000 incarcerated, but on the letter they sent us, it said they updated it to 850. But they're in 925 correctional facilities that carry a DOVO.
Wow.
So that's a lot of prison.
That is a lot of prisons. Absolutely.
45 states have a DOVO presence.
Oh.
Well, Linda's going to have to get her pen ready because we're.
I think you guys might want to start dictating.
I know. Well, we may need some
I said
secretaries.
tating, not tasting. Oh, I didn't say that.
Hey, yeah. And before, I want to say again a big thank you to the Houston Peace and Justice Center that will be honoring Linda and I with the Peacemaker Award this Sunday. And we are looking forward to it.
That's open to the public?
That is open to the public. $85 a plate.
Linda don't have her mic on. She's over talking in the background.
Yeah, $85 a plate. But yes, it is.
And what time is it?
It starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And you can, there are several people that will be receiving the Peacemaker Award. Linda and I are just one of them. And we thank Sophie for doing that.
And who else is on the list? Do you know?
I do. Damn it, David. Why?
Danny and I are worth $85 a plate, guys.
Yeah.
Where are they having it?
We don't know yet.
Oh.
Well, we don't have that information. They're supposed to, because I need specific direction or the address because I am directionally challenged. So
It's not going to be in the same place it was for Dave's memorial?
I'm not sure. I think we don't know much.
I think every time I've ever been to anything for Houston Peace and Justice Center, they did it over there in Spring Branch.
What's the name of the place?
It was a certain church, right?
Yeah.
Like a dome-type church?
Catholic something church.
Yeah, it's a Catholic church. Anyway, but if you go to the
She's
Houston...
supposed to give us the address tomorrow.
Yeah, if you go to the why don't I do the Houston Peace and Justice Center? Let me see where they are having because it was on their website. The award ceremony, November 10th. More information. Let me click on that. More information. The Archbishop is receiving one. The Reverend William Lawson is receiving one. Two. Oh, it's ticket prices are $100 now after October 20th. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see our photos are on there now, which mine's very unfortunate.
They didn't use none of mine, did they?
No, because David has that. It doesn't even say it on. Oh, here it is. Dominican Sisters of Houston Spirituality Center Meeting Room.
Oh.
And it's 6501 Alameda Road.
Oh, that's a nice place.
Yes. So we would appreciate anyone that can come out and cheer us on. There's several like Laisha Harris. She will be honored too. She is at the Harris County Public Defender's Office. So cool. she will be honored as well. So see how unfortunate that.
You look fine. Both of you. Well, I found, I asked Meryl for an update on Clinton. I just found what she sent me, but it's very brief. She says, on October 15th, after a 10-day trial, Clinton was convicted of capital murder and given an automatic life sentence with parole. The state put on a circumstantial case under the law of parties, and the defense barely put on a defense. That doesn't sound like Dick DeGuerin to me.
No, it doesn't.
Clinton's motion for a new trial is due next week, November 14th. Then his direct appeal will follow, and if necessary, post-conviction litigation. We raised funds for his defense, so for now there's not much to do but to send Clinton some uplifting messages through Securus.
Okay.
Barely put on a defense.
Yeah, that doesn't. But when Clinton was here, what, David, about a month ago? Or a month and a half?
He also did a few little short things on Instagram or whatever.
Uh-huh.
He kept saying, I can't give a lot of detail. He said, but the police are up there lying. And so I asked him on the message, I said, did your legal team object? He said, sometimes. I said, they should be doing it all the time. They should be standing up screaming and hollering.
But when he was here, he said it was Dick DeGuerin.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said, but I couldn't find it whenever I tried looking it up.
Well, that just doesn't sound like a DeGuerin defense.
Well, I think the problem is that they tried him with that law of parties, so they didn't even have to go into his background. They didn't have to talk about what he's done since he's been out. They didn't have a chance to do any of that. I mean, all they had to do was prove that he was with the people. And then
but as
Attorney
I
General
said
did that.
earlier, mitigation is important.
Yeah, and the Attorney General is the one that tried the case. So
Yeah, it was the Attorney General.
Paxton?
Yeah.
The Texas?
I don't think it was him. I think it was his office.
It was his office?
Yeah.
It wasn't him personally?
It wasn't him personally.
Could he personally do it?
I'm sure he could.
I don't know. I've never seen him in court.
As opposed to the DA from whatever county?
Yeah, they said the Attorney General did it.
Their office.
Wow.
The Attorney General's office can do anything they want.
Yeah. Well, Clinton didn't say the office. He just kept saying the Attorney General.
I think people usually, Attorney General.
They shorten it?
Yeah, because.
I don't know. I'm so specific. It's pathetic.
Pathetic.
I want to know what the reality is.
What the reality of being on the tablets? Well, you know what? I have a feeling from what TPA, Texas Prisons Alliance, they said and they were on just a segment of Worthy People, and they had so many letters, and so
wow.
Yeah, they said it was very overwhelming, and it's just Linda, you and I.
Well, it's going to be more because, like I said, especially if we're doing audio, I got to have the meeting with them to find out if it's going to be video or audio. Yeah, but if we're doing video, we got to up our camera game. I mean, we used to have camera people, and we had multiple cameras going on here. And I think we need to up our camera game again. I think we need to up.
After the pandemic, it just...
Maybe we need to get some more telephone training and go through training one more time. I couldn't find the switch to turn the volume on. I had to call Howard a while ago.
Oh, that's what was going on?
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out. And the whole time it was just the volume knob turned down. It says Talk Studio. But see, the clip player button... The button that I play all the recordings off of, it doesn't say clip player anymore. So if I didn't know that was where the clip player was, I wouldn't know how to do that.
So we're going to have to, like you said, up our game, because if we have, I think that it may take a few weeks for us, for people to realize that we're on there and maybe get our business increased.
Yeah.
But then after that...
We need to reach out to all of our guests that come on a regular basis. And like tonight, if they can't make it, we need to know in advance they can't make it. If they're not going to be late, I mean, we got to. Everybody's got to up our game.
And do you want everything going to your personal address from all over the United States?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, are you really? Maybe we should get a.
It's not better than doing it here. Yeah, Shepherd has a post office. And if I let them know that the prison show needs to have a box or something like that, they'll put it in a basket and I'll have to go pick it up.
Shepherd America has a post office?
They got a post office. That's why it's Shepherd America. I'm surprised that your orange-faced president doesn't have a place out there in Shepherd America.
No, ma'am. He's not mine.
That's Shepherd America.
Yeah. He's Linda's president, not mine.
Yeah, well... He's all our president for...
Oh, hell no.
Going to be. For 4 years.
Hey, do y'all have a banner or something that says the prison show?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
Because y'all should march with us in the MLK parade.
Is that on a work day?
No.
It's on a weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
A lot of parades you do, Gloria, I would love to be involved in, but a lot of times you guys are doing things while I'm working. So I do have a full-time job.
Maybe we should.
Well, actually, it's MLK is a holiday, And they do it the Monday after his
y'all-
birthday.
Are y'all off? ML?
It's not a mandatory holiday. It's an optional holiday.
Yeah, I'm off.
And since I work for a fitness center, then I'm there.
off.
Well, get a little go-kart and
Let's
Get
do
a
it.
little go-kart.
I
There you
know,
go.
But what about our banner? We need a banner.
Well, can you make one?
it's
Yeah.
Monday, January 20th.
Yeah, let me get right on that, David. I'll make a banner.
There you go. Make a big old flag, wave it around.
Or just get a sign, make a sign.
Yeah.
Says the prison show supports Dr. King or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So there's lots of things that I mean, I wish we could participate in everything. There's just so much going on, and Linda says, "Yep, there really is." I mean, we're up and down that highway all the time. You ladies are always visiting somebody, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Always.
So-
Or doing something for the cause.
Yeah. I mean that means a lot. So.
We're determined.
Amen. So we got just a couple more minutes, and then we'll have to talk about DJ Rico Black. What's going on with the Mendez brothers? Have you noticed anything new? Did they their DA or something lost his office and now they got a new one? Did you see that?
Yeah, I think he did lose the office.
So
but
does that mean that are they going to get a new trial or?
no, I think they
Weren't they trying to get a resentencing?
Yeah, I think it's resentence.
And isn't that a conflict? Having one DA go out and another one come in?
Well, I don't think the new one's in yet. So, which speaking of, Harris County has a new DA.
Thank heaven.
Sean Tier, yes.
He got it?
Yeah, he got it. So, want to give a huge see you later to Kim Ogg.
Yeah,
Me and Linda were talking earlier though about all those judges, and I mean, we were looking for Allison to get up in there, and
I
she
know.
did. And I was looking at it in that race with Allison and the 338th, right?
Mm-hmm.
They both got 50%. It was 50-50, but whenever you actually counted the
Votes, it was-
Allison was like 218,000 something, and the other one was 224,000.
And you know, they had all these commercials about soft on crime,
Right.
but they weren't saying the reason why when you have TDC not picking up the people that have already been convicted and have to remain.
Yeah, but I think the commercial that got everybody the most was all those victims that were saying,
Well, but
don't elect these soft on crime judges.
I realize that, but it wasn't the judges that were soft on
Well, that's
crime.
who got the blame for it.
Oh, I realize that. But
And that's
when
who-
TDC doesn't pick up
all the Republicans are in there now, so what are they going to do now? Hang them high?
you know what? Probably.
Pack TDC back to the gills?
Absolutely. You know what? Y'all, I'm not going to say
Y'all be careful. Don't be doing nothing.
Oh, yeah. Because, you know.
And Ken Paxton's candidates for the Court of Criminal Appeals got elected.
Yeah, they're in there.
And somebody said they're worse than Sharon Keller.
Yes, they are.
It's time to retire, folks.
God.
Get them.
Yep.
God, jeez.
Yeah.
But y'all got it.
You got to listen to me and Anthony Sanchez when we talk about all them gangsters. It's time to go out and get a real job and become a productive member of society. Ain't no sense in going down the wrong road, because it looks to me like all them Republicans are going to hang you high and you ain't never going to get out of TDCJ.
Mm-hmm.
So-
That's what they want. That's what
Well,
they
look,
want.
it's about that time. It's time for us to close up shop, and we really thank you guys for tuning in. We really thank all the family members that called in tonight and made shout-outs. And we want to make sure that you guys get the message and let your loved ones know about it. But we'll be coming to a tablet near you pretty soon.
Absolutely.
So I just got to work out all the details. There's a few bugs in the mix, and most of it's about my wallet over there. My wallet's not quite fat enough, so we got to figure that out. So, hey, it shouldn't be that bad, right?
Right.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I think we're going to go out with Charlie and the Regrets, and you guys. Oh, we got Rico Black coming in, so stay tuned for Rico Black. And I'm not sure he's going to be in here. I think he's going to be on the air, though. So you guys stay tuned. We love you. Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Vegas to Polonsky. Bonjour, be more. In my dreams, I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. To the man with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This sings my love. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio. And to all the laughers, the men sitting on the road, try to keep your heads up. You ain't me if you got hope. It's Friday night.